MashaAllah. Let's continue now in Al-Mustalah. Hadith terminology. We are going over the explanation of the poem Al-Bayquniyah by the Ethiopian scholar Sheikh Al-Jabarti, rahimahullah ta'ala. We're closing in on the end of the book, and we've reached the type of hadith called Munkar. You know that word Munkar? You bid the good and forbid the Munkar. So the Munkar is objectionable. The objectionable hadith, that's the start of a sentence here. It's the unique hadith. It's a fard hadith. We covered fard. We covered the fard hadith. That is also gharib hadith and fard hadith, if you remember. It's a fard hadith, the Munkar hadith. So the Munkar is a fard hadith. والمنكر والفرد به والمنكر والفرد به راو غدا. The Munkar is a unique hadith in which a reporter is, or a reporter became تعديله لا يحمل التفرد. It's a fard hadith, a unique hadith, whose narrator is not qualified to have a unique hadith. The Munkar hadith is a unique hadith whose narrator is not qualified to pass off a unique hadith. He's not strong enough for us to rely on his unique hadith. He is not accredited. He does not have the accreditation to rely on his unique report. أي لا يحتمل تفرده في الحديث لكونه لم يبلغ مبلغ من يغتفر تفرده. So that's what I just told you. Meaning, his uniqueness, this reporter in the hadith, cannot bear. It's not bearable. It's not strong enough. Because he did not reach a level whose uniqueness is overlookable. قال في التدريب. The author of التدريب said, that's As-Suyuti. ومثال الفرد الذي ليس في راويه من الثقة والإتقان ما يحتمل تفرده أو تفرده. An example of a unique report in which its narrator does not have the trustworthiness or the mastery for his uniqueness to be bearable is ما رواه النسائي وابن ماجه من رواية أبي. I don't know this name. Zukair, I don't know. يحيى بن محمد بن قيس عن هشام بن عروة عن أبيه عن عائشة رضي الله عنها مرفوعا. From the narration of Abu Zakir or Zukair, I'm not sure. His name is Yahya ibn Muhammad ibn Qais, from Hisham ibn Urwa, from his father Urwa, from Aisha, may Allah accept from her, as a prophetic hadith, Kulul balaha bitamr. Eat balah with dates. The balah is the unripe date. The date is the ripe balah. The balah is to a date what a grape is to a raisin. So this is reported as a prophetic hadith. Eat balah with dates. Al-hadith, etc. till the end of that hadith. قال النسائي هذا حديث منكر. And Nasa'i said, this is an objectionable hadith. تفرد به Abu Zakir or Zukair. What did we learn in last time's lesson? Names don't have a pattern. Or maybe it's even something other than Zakir or Zukair. I'm not sure. I didn't study well before starting the lesson with you. وهو شيخ صالح غير أنه لم يبلغ مبلغ من يحتمل تفرده أو من يحتمل تفرده. And he is a pious sheikh, this one. He's a good Muslim. However, he did not reach the level where his uniqueness is bearable. For him to uniquely report something is not bearable despite his piety. And that's an important lesson. Don't forget, Yani, hadith science is the science that taught us the difference between the accuracy and the piety. Because someone might be very pious while lacking accuracy, just like someone might be extremely accurate while lacking piety. So you're not going to take from someone because he's a good Muslim. You're going to take from someone because he is an accurate good Muslim. Intaha, end quote. That's a Suyuti's quote. وأكثر العلماء على أن المنكر كالشاذ. And most of the scholars are upon the position that the Munkar hadith is like the Shadh hadith. Was Shadh hadith. So these names, they should be clear to you. If you have been consistent in the hadith terminology, we've covered many names. I fear that if we were to do a test about the names of these kinds of hadiths, that most of the people would fail. I remember when I first learned hadith terminology, that's when Sheikh Samir taught us al-Bayquniyah, my first taste of hadith terminology. When I went to go back to study the different kinds of hadiths, I remember the effort that I was putting to lock the names in with their meanings, and at the time was not easy for me. And I say what it was that made me, I won't say master the names, but maybe master the names, just talking about the names here only, the names, is just the mere repetition and studying until just became second nature to me. Not even attempting to sit down and memorize it per se, but the study. So most of the scholars are upon the position that the Munkar is like the Shadh hadith. Was Shadh the irregular hadith or the anomalous hadith? Yeah. What does that mean? Means, does anyone remember? What does it mean to say a hadith is irregular or anomalous? Shadh. I'd give you a 10 count, but I don't want to slow down too much here. 5, 4, 3, two. One, the anomalous hadith is the hadith that appears to be authentic and its defect does not appear. And that the way we knew its lack of authenticity was by its being contrary to something more reliable. Not because it had something obvious standing out in it. No, had it not been for another report that's more reliable, we would have taken that hadith and deemed it as authentic. So it's a defective hadith that appears to be authentic and does not have any apparent discovered defect. That's shadh, irregular hadith. And don't forget, when you talk about an irregular hadith, so a shadh, irregular. In order to talk about an irregular hadith, that means there must be another hadith involved. That other hadith is going to be called al-mahfuz. Preserved. Yani, this is the one that was kept. If there's an irregular hadith, there's a preserved hadith. Yani, that's the one that the irregular hadith was put aside for. Had it not been for that preserved one, the one that we're going to keep, we would have taken that irregular one. We wouldn't have deemed it as irregular. So Sheikh Al-Jabarti says, most of the scholars make the Munkar hadith out to be like the Shadh hadith. He says, وَالْمُعْتَمَدُ أَنَّهُمَا مُتَمَيِّزَانِ. And what's reliable, though, he's saying, this is a case where a minority said something more reliable than a majority. Most of the scholars said that the Munkar is like the Shadh, but what's reliable is that they are different. كما قاله الحافظ ابن حجر فالمقابل للشاذ يقال له المحفوظ. That's what Ibn Hajar said. Hafiz Ibn Hajar said they're different. And so what is contrary to the irregular report is the preserved one. These are all technical terms here. وَالْمُقَابِلُ لِلْمُنْكَرِ يُقَالُ لَهُ الْمَعْرُوفُ. While what is contrary to the al-munkar report, munkar, objectionable, what's contrary to the munkar report is called al-ma'ruf. Al-ma'ruf means compliant. Yeah. So what's the difference here? The difference is that the irregular hadith appears to be authentic, but it was displaced for something more authentic. Whereas the munkar hadith does not appear to be authentic. Basically, munkar hadith is like a strong hadith versus a strong hadith, a stronger hadith, a strong hadith versus a stronger hadith. And actually, the stronger hadith proved that what we thought was a strong hadith was really a weak hadith. He looked like he was strong. He has muscles, he has chest, everything. But we discovered really he's weak. Whereas the Munkar hadith, it's weak already. Challenging or standing in opposition to a strong hadith. So let me repeat that. The irregular hadith, shadh, appears to be strong. And it is challenged by the preserved hadith, which is confirmed to be strong, stronger even. Irregular hadith appears strong, and the preserved hadith is confirmed to be stronger, thereby actually demoting this irregular hadith to being weak and exposing its true irregularity that was evading us. Whereas the Munkar hadith, the objectionable hadith, it is fundamentally a weak hadith because it's a unique report from a reporter whose uniqueness is intolerable. So it's the objectionable report is a report challenged by a compliant report. It is strong. So they do have something in common, the shadh and the munkar, which is that both of them are in opposition to something stronger. That's their commonality. But there's something different about them, which is that one of them appears to be strong, while the other one does not even appear to be strong. Both of them are in opposition to something stronger, but one of them is a strong, apparently strong one in opposition to something stronger. And one of them is, from the outset, a weak one that is in opposition to something stronger. So I think that's clear. Any question? He's finished talking about the Munkar hadith there. Let's see if we can finish the Matrook today. I didn't plan to, but let's see if we can. He says, rahimahullah. So I'm going to skip a lot of the talk about the grammar here. He says the Matrook, abandoned hadith. Meaning, the definition of the abandoned hadith is that it is what someone narrated uniquely, and they have a consensus about the weakness of this narrator. Because he is accused of being a liar, even in worldly matters. Not only, it's not restricted to being a liar in religion. Or lifisqihi, or because he is accused of being a major sinner. Or confirmed major sinner. لكونه متهما بالكذب أو لفسقه his fisq, his major sin, is connected to كونه لكونه ولفسقه. They agree to the weakness of this narrator due to his being accused of lying, or due to his major sin. not accused of major sin, due to his major sin. لكونه متهما بالكذب أو لفسقه أو لغير ذلك, or for some other reason they agreed to his weakness. فهو كرد. So they have a consensus to the weakness of this narrator because of his being accused of lying, or because of his major sin, or for some other reason they agree to the weakness of this narrator. And so, therefore, it is like a rejection, or like what is rejected. Meaning, like what is fabricated. That's what rad. Rad means rejected, given back, refused, for example. Given back. Rad, not wanted, unwanted. With the meaning, though, of fabricated altogether. It's like it's fabricated, but like the author says, Sheikh Al-Jabarti, a mithlul mardud, a al-mawdu', it's like a rejected report, meaning a fabricated report, لكنه أخف منه. However, it's less than that. It's not at the level of being fabricated, but what's this kind called? Abandoned. Matrook, left. كما صرحوا بذلك, as the scholars said explicitly. A myth, وأفاده الناظم بالتشبيه. And that was the author's point by his simile. That was his point by his simile when he said, Karad, it's like a rejected hadith. He means it's like a fabricated hadith. ومن أمثلته حديث عمرو بن شمر عن جابر عن الحارث الأعور عن علي رضي الله عنه قال الدارقطني وغيره في عمرو إنه متروك. So its example is a hadith narrated by Amr ibn Shimr, Amr the son of Shimr, from Jabir, from Al-Harith al-Awar, from Ali radiyallahu anhu. What's that hadith? The text of the hadith is not important here. Call it Daraqutni and others. This one, Amr ibn Shimr, Matrook. He is abandoned, unreliable. We do not take from him. What is mentioned here in the text? It says, Ajma'u li du'afihi. They agree to his weakness. What does that imply? That implies that there are reporters that they might disagree about his weakness. Then, if that's the case, it means there are reporters that some scholars accept while others reject. So there's three cases here. Reporters that they have an agreement to his acceptability, and reporters that they have agreement to his being rejected, and reporters that they differed about accepting him or rejecting him. Some accept him and some reject him. Oh, so some accept him and some reject him. So can we use the hadith then? Then it's going to need the investigation of the qualified people, if it's going to be used or not. Imam Abu Dawood, he had a goal for his sunan. His goal was to not record in that book, in that particular book, or log any hadith with a reporter that they agreed about his weakness or his rejection. Yani, his goal was that no one in any of the chains of the hadiths in his book As-Sunan is someone that they agreed to abandon. So this means, and Abu Dawood's standard, his qualifier, what qualifies a hadith to be able to get into his book, is that it can get in his book even if some scholars disagree about the reliability of some of the narrators of a hadith he puts in there. If he has a hadith that some scholars don't accept someone in his chain, but not all of them, he's still willing to put it into his book. And that's a good thing what he did there. As opposed to what Al-Bukhari and Muslim did, their goal was that nothing gets into their book unless it is authentic. Abu Dawood's goal is not that. His goal is that nothing gets into his book if any of its narrators is agreed upon to be rejected. Then that leaves only one hadith type left, the fabricated hadith. We'll stop here. Do you have any question I can answer for you?